So this is a game that I am actually super excited about. I already got it kickstarted. It's called Wild West Exodus. So we're gonna go ahead and like have a little demo, right?
Sure. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So Wild West Exodus, card-based game. Okay, a little bit similar to games like War Machine Forts. Damage on your characters and your troops. So indicated here, here, and here. Your stat bar here. All right. And your stat bar would be quickness in inches, action points, marksmanship, physical, strikes, courage, and armor. Okay? We're a low armor game, so we don't have a lot of guys, running around with lots of armor on. So the most you'll ever see is maybe a 3 armor point boss model. Most hired hands have no armor. The Warrior Nation really has very little armor at all, even bosses. So that being said, we got our faction set up here. I'm going to go ahead and let you start. The way you start would be you nominate 1 to 3 models, and you'll indicate who you activate with these tokens. Okay? Each one of your basic troopers has 2 action points. Your boss model, which is Jesse James here, has 3. Okay? This is Frank James, and these are all hired hands riflemen.
Okay, cool.
So go ahead and indicate who you want to activate.
Well, let's just go with Jesse James, I guess.
Okay, you can activate 1 to 3. I would suggest activate all 3.
Okay, cool. We'll go like that.
Okay, cool. All right, so you got Frank, you got Jesse, you got 1 hired hand. All right, so go ahead and whoever you want to move, their quickness is 5. Jesse is 6, so it'd be 5 inches any direction. Jesse 6 inches any direction.
All right, cool.
Okay. And now keep in mind, because they have 2 action points, you can either move, shoot, move, shoot.
What's the range like in this game?
These guys have rifles. Jesse has pistols, so the shooting is pretty viable in the game. Rifles are 24. His rifle's actually 36.
Oh, okay.
Jesse's pistols are 18, so they actually have a pretty decent range for pistols.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and move him up about Frank up there, and I guess we'll take a shot.
Okay, cool. So just take your token and flip it so we know you use 1.
Okay.
And Frank's going to shoot. Okay, so this is where the game gets a little bit different. You're going to look at Frank's marksmanship stat over here, and it's a 4. All right. He also has a scope, which gives him a +1. All right, so he'll need to hit on 3s or better. And he also has a rate of fire 3 on his weapon. So you're going to be rolling 3 dice for his shots.
Okay.
So you need 3 ups.
And this is on D10s.
Yes. Okay, so you got 1 miss, 1 9, and 1 10. Now, on that 10, because it's a natural 10, it's not a re-rolled 10, you can roll another dice, and if you roll another 10, then you will do what we call right between the eyes, and that is a double damage hit.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll this.
All right, here we go.
Okay, 3, so you just had 2 hits.
Okay.
All right, so now what's going to happen is it now falls on me to kind of do damage control. If I had armor, my armor would go against the strength of the weapon. So if I had an armor 2, let's say, the strength of his weapon is 9, it would actually drop to strength 7. In this case, I have no armor, so it's really going to be my straight dice against your power of your weapon. All right? So a 3 and a 2, he's power 9. So I'm going to take, 7 and 6 lifeblood. So 7 and 6 is 13. So that'll be 13 lifeblood against one of my Braves, which only have 6.
Oh.
So he'll be smoked.
Okay.
Okay? So that's kind of the shooting mechanic of the game.
Okay, cool.
Let's see, so that's your first activation. Why don't you go ahead and do Jesse?
All right, so we'll get around the campfire, I guess.
Okay.
So now he's done.
Okay, actually he has 1 more action. Boss models have 3.
Oh.
So now what I would do is I would take some shots.
Shoot? Okay.
Yep.
So I'll shoot at this guy.
Okay.
So he gets how many?
Okay. Jesse's got a couple of different weapons. He's got hypervelocity pistols ×2. Okay, so he could get 2 shots off with an action point.
Okay.
Or he could do heat blast ammo, which is range 18 but power 14. So very powerful.
Okay.
So that's kind of wasted on a Brave.
Yeah.
But if you were going to shoot my Chief, then that'd be a great shot on him.
Okay.
Because that's going to do a lot of damage, especially with him having no armor.
Okay. So then I should probably shoot the chief?
Yeah, go ahead and roll
So
on
I'll do
him.
that.
So it'd be one shot,
Okay.
and you're gonna need 2 ups. Jesse's got a rule that allows him to ignore shooting modifiers.
Oh, wow.
He's that accurate. Okay, so 6 will hit. Once again, unfortunately, I have no armor, so it's just gonna be my dice against the power of your weapon.
Okay.
So that's that power 14 is gonna be real brutal. I roll a 4, so I'm gonna take 10 damage on my boss. He's got 22, so he's still okay, but that's actually a lot. I mean, if I get one more, if you had 2 action points, you could shoot. Now your hypervelocity pistols, you have to reload the heat blast.
Gotcha.
But you could whittle me down to where I'd be really off the board in the next turn.
Okay.
Okay. So Jesse will be done, and then you got one more hired hand. It looks like.
Yeah. So I guess we'll do the same thing. We'll just move up behind these boxes, and then I guess I'll shoot there as well.
Okay.
And then 1. Great.
Yep, rate of fire 1. And a 1's gonna miss. Now we have an interesting mechanic in the game.
Yep.
We have these influence tokens, right? Okay. The influence tokens allow you to generate rerolls, or second chances, I guess. And so you can wager them. We want to have a gambling aspect in the game because it's Wild West, poker, blackjack, all that stuff. So you can wager your influence to get a reroll. So if you have a crucial armor save, or you have a crucial to hit roll you need to get, you can put up an influence token, and that'll give you a reroll, right? So if you want, go ahead and put a token up, and re-roll that dice. A 6. A 6 is going to hit.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. You can wager as many as you want in your pool because your characters bring influence to your pool, and it's an army-wide pool. Say you wagered 3 on that, right? And you rolled that 6 and you hit. Well, you would lose those 3 because you're wagering as much as you want, and you might get 3 chances. You might need them, but in this case you didn't. You're still going to lose that influence.
Gotcha.
Right? So that's kind of where the wagering comes in. So that's something a little different about Wild West Exodus.
So it seems like a really cool mechanic.
Yeah. So he hit. So he's got a power 10 rifle. Once again, no armor, so straight dice. A 9. So I'm only going to take 1 lifeblood. So that's good for me.
Yeah.
So it's now going to come over and be my turn.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and activate Sitting Bull, one of my Braves, and Walks Looking, who is kind of like a Indian ninja.
Okay.
So, what's that tape? Let's go ahead and get Sitting Bull going. I want to show you guys the melee mechanic. He's going to go ahead and move. He's quickness 7, so he's going to come right up the gut here. Get him around. There's 1. I'll use another action to get to about right here. Okay. And he has a 2-inch halo. I think I'm going to be just short, so I'm going to have to use my last action to get close enough to attack.
Okay.
Now, since I used all my actions, I would actually be done, but because I haloed you, I get a free action.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and use that free action, and I'll use it on this hired hand guy right here. All right? And now, my halo is 2 inches, your halo is half an inch. Okay? So it's kind of one of those things where I can strike you, but you can't strike me. Okay? You can spend actions in your next turn to move up, to use a knife, or you could get out. One of the two, but you're going to take a strike if you get out. Okay. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and use my action. I have a pair of claws, and I have 3 strikes times 2, so I'll be rolling 6 dice. My physical is 3, okay? So that's what I need in any melee is off physical. So I need 3 or betters to hit. So I got 3 misses, and I've got 1 possible right between the eyes. It's a 6, so I just have 3. So you're gonna have 3 power 8 going against your hired hand. So go ahead and roll 3 dice. You need 8s or better.
No,
so
not a 1.
Nope. So 8 minus 7 is 1 lifeblood. 3 lifeblood. 3 lifeblood is 6, 7 lifebloods. That's gonna wipe him out. Okay. That's kind of how the melee works.
Okay. Cool.
So everything in this game is very fast. And it's not really like we don't encourage fast play, but the game by nature is just quick.
Well, I think another really cool thing about the game is the comic book aspect.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, when we came up with the idea for a game, one thing I love about games is fluff. And so we all know, like with GW and some of the other companies, there's usually a long lapse of time between fluff. And we wanted our game to kind of have its story, but then have its story be living, like always evolving. So we figured, well, how are we going to do this? We don't have the money to do novels because, you know, that's really expensive. We can't hire writers of that caliber. So we said, okay, how about comics? Comics are hot. I mean, look at, you know, the Avengers and all these movies. Maybe let's do a comic book and see how it goes. So we put the comic book out there and got a real good response. So we also figured the comic book would allow us to create new characters on the fly, change the game up on the fly if we wanted to with like a rules update, because comics every month. We could put scenarios in it that you guys could play, so you always would have new scenarios. You'd be getting 12 scenarios a year, new ones. And we could put some hobby and stuff like that in there. So rather than having like a White Dwarf magazine or using novels to move the fluff along, we figured why not comics. So it's kind of where that all came about.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And I was amazed nobody was doing it. So I thought, well, let's do that.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So,
well, thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah.